If they running their mouth, then they looking for trouble. Ran right up in the knowledge, now they back in the huddle. See, they know we can fight, new content every week. Me and Dr. Clyde, keep on bringing the heat. Now they know that we driven, and they know we quitting. Yoshi and Dr. Winner, keep on bringing the energy. Unity. See, they know we ain't stopping, and they know they got problems, and they ran out of options. If they know we got a problem, can't let it go unsolved. Brain based learner, Afrocentric history, we see tomorrow. Karma's karma, I say what I say, I hear underwater. Till I see I fall off, then I bring y'all up on note. I'm back up on my Clyde winners, 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 Clyde winners. Divine winters, Clyde winters, mind bender, Clyde winters. I'm Richard, Brian with you, master teacher, create masters, Clyde winters. Give respect to the elder, Clyde winters. I know that somebody out there living for me. Yeah. I told you somebody out there looking for me. I think there's somebody out there looking for me. I think there's somebody out there looking for me.
We have to live on the lot. We have to live on the lot. I have not done wrong. I have not robbed. I have not stolen. I have not drank. I have not told lies. I have not stolen food. I was not stolen. I have not fornicated with the fornicator. I have not caused anyone to weep. I have not dissembled. I have not transgressed. I have not discussed secrets. I have brought no lawsuits. I have not wronged the population. I have not struck kill. I have not transgressed the law. I have not been hunted. Except when I'm talking about on the song. I have not made extolling. I have not bragged. I have not cursed. I have not been violent. I have not confounded truth. I have not been impatient. I have not cursed against.
Dr. Winter's legacy is a testament to the power of knowledge and the unyielding spirit of exploration. His impact is felt worldwide, as he shares and enlightens at conferences, symposiums, and collaborative projects. His voice is a beacon in the academic world, challenging, inspiring, and always educating. His journey reminds us that the quest for knowledge is never-ending, and its impact is timeless. Dr. Winters teaches us to challenge the narratives and to learn with an open mind. As he always says, B1 is not a group, it's a lineage. Let his story inspire everybody to pursue knowledge relentlessly and to always seek the truth. Now let us welcome in the grandfather of research, the Trill OG himself, the Honorable Dr. Clyde Winters.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Boom! Hey, how you doing, family? Do you know what day it is? Is it Monday? No, it's not. No, it's not Monday. Is it Tuesday? No, it's not Tuesday. Is it? No, it's not. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. And do you know what that means? It's Thursday, so it's time for Black History Jammers. Yes. It's another edition of Black History Jam. I come to you every Thursday to talk to you about our historical experiences, to talk to you about the various things that the European, the white man, and the world is hiding from you. Yes. I come to you to talk to you about our history because nobody else will. No, especially in these times. These are some very interesting times. We're in a time, in a sense, when Europeans are trying to find themselves. And while they're trying to find themselves, they're trying to destroy who we are. Because, see, they can't help it. They can't help themselves. They hate the fact that we have an identity. They hate the fact that, in a sense, we have a history. Sorry, I'm kind of sorry to say this, but in reality, Europeans, they don't have a history. No, they don't have a history, because see, their history, in a sense, is really been a history in which they've tried to take the histories of others and through grafting onto that history themselves, then they make it appear that they're the real main stars in the history. Because their history is a history of war, a history of destruction, a history of pain, a history of suffering. Because many of these people, yes, sadly, many of these people, in a sense, they don't know what's going up, you see? They don't know what's going up. What's going on, Dorville? Greetings, brilliant first. Hope to hear about European with whiteness being a fourth century phenomena. Yes, it's a late phenomena. It's a late phenomenon. I'm not going back to the fourth century though. What up, Curtis? Peace, Dr. Winters. I left some info on your Facebook timeline the other day. I don't know if you heard of it before. I'll have to check it out. I haven't been to my Facebook in a couple of days, but thank you, Curtis. But again, in a sense, is that we're lucky. We're lucky. This is an experience in which we're about to have because we need to know our history, and there's so many things in our history that have been hidden from us. Every day, I find out something new that even I didn't know about, and it's scary. It is very scary to know that even though you've done a lot of research, and I've been researching our history since I was in high school, and that's been over 50 years. Yes, over 50 years. And yet I'm still finding out new things every day about our history. Today, I want to talk a little bit about, our experience, in the rise of the black race. Yes, the rise of the black race. We're we're not just a monolith. I mean, black people don't all look alike. Some of us are light, some of us are dark, some of us are red bone, some of us are near white. And this is the way it's always been. Yes, it's the way it's always been. They would like you, in a sense, to believe that our differences are the result of maybe intermarriage with whites, and that maybe somehow the albino has played a role in terms of our physiology. But no, that's not the case. That's not the case. You see, we carry our own identities. We carry our own, in a sense, structures. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about our history. I want to talk to you about our identities. I want to talk to you about the fact that in the past, in a sense, you know, we we were a very interesting people. And then I want to talk to you about one of our aspects of our Black history because, see, a lot of times we don't really know how to really accept the reality of our existence, because to look at our existence is very scary. Yes, it's very scary, and the reason that is scary is because the fact, in a sense, is that we don't want to really, in a sense, know a lot about ourselves because it's kind of scary when you have to know that we're such an authentic race. When you have to know, in a sense, is that as members of the black race, there's a lot of things in a sense that we have to understand. A lot of things that we have to know and to even feel. And this is one of the reasons why I like to come to you every Thursday. And I like to share with you various aspects of our history. And, because, we not only built the pyramids, we weren't only the Olmecs. We weren't only the greatest people on the planet, but we were, in a sense, much, 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 much more, you see? And it's this experience that allows us to be able to be who and what we are. So let's get started. The Black Race, Part 1, yes. Here you can see various skeletal remains. What they've done is that archaeologists have discovered many skulls. And when they discovered these skulls of, uh, of people who they found in various burials, they were able, in a sense, to use clay and other materials to reconstruct how these people may have looked in ancient times. These are some representations of some of the reconstructions of various hominids or humans that formerly lived in various parts of the world: Russia, Asia, England, you know, Romania, the Americas. And as you can see, the most ancient skeletal remains, the most ancient reconstructions of people who lived here in ancient times on every continent were members of the Black race. Yes, 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 yes. They were members of the Black race. After I do this presentation, I'm going to put these slides onto my Patreon. Please join my Patreon. My Patreon is only $5 a month. Yes, $5 a month, but this $5 a month goes a long way. This $5 a month allows me to do research. It allows me to find the latest materials. It allows me to buy the latest books, and I can do this because of the support of you, my Patreon. Please support my Patreon. And after I do this presentation, I'm going to put this inside of my Patreon. You are you can go to YouTube, and this is my YouTube channel. And here I have over 400 videos. Yes, 400 videos on every aspect of Black history. Don't just come here on Thursdays to hear me talk about Black history. Visit this site and look at all of my videos, all 400 of them. Learn your history. Have your children look at these videos and learn their history. The more we know about our history, the more confidence we'll have, the more pride we'll have in ourselves, and the greater our ability to withstand CAIDS, which is culturally acquired immune identity deficiency syndrome. When you catch CAIDS, you lose your identity. And most of the time, we lose our identity because we don't know who and what we are. You can order my books at Amazon.com. Let the researcher do the research. Yes, 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 yes. Let the researcher do the research. It's by allowing the researcher to do the research that we can, in a sense, find out more about who and what we are. So we must let the researcher do the research. And it's through letting the researcher do the research that we will find out more about who and what we are. Let the researcher do the research. Yes, let the researcher do the research. Dr. Clyde Winters, let him do the research. We need more researchers like Dr. Clyde Winters. Yes, yes, yes. Let the researcher do the research. Yes, we don't understand that it takes people who want to do research to be able, in a sense, to tell us our history. Yes, many people have taken my course, The Afrocentric Researcher. You can take it too. All you got to do is join. But if you don't, in a sense, join, understand that it's through your hard work, through your persistence, that you can become a researcher. Yes, yes, yes. Let the researcher do the researcher. You know what? I've written some books that can help you to be a researcher. Those books are Pathfinder, Clyde Winters in Search of the Roots of Afrocentric Studies. Yes, yes, this book is an important book. It'll help you learn all about your history. My other book is Afrocentric Researcher by Dr. Clyde Winters. This book, in a sense, is the most important book that you will find. What makes this book important is that the Afrocentric Researcher provides you with a course, yes, provides you with a course outline that tells you all the things you do to be a great researcher. Yes, get these books, the Afrocentric Researcher, and in a sense, get my book, Pathfinder. These books are the books you need to be successful, the books that will make you a great researcher. Get these books, but let the researcher do the research, but you can be the researcher too. Today I'm talking about various aspects of the Black race, and some of the books that you may want to buy, they can help you to to be able to read more about the various peoples that make up the Black race. Is you can get my book, The Ancient Black Civilizations of Asia. There's also my book, Before Egypt, the Ma Confederation, Africa's First Civilization, and of course my book, A Short World History of the Black People in Ancient Times. This book It's a short history, but it gets you straight to all the various black civilizations. As you can see, the examples on the cover. Then get my book, Black History Gems Essays, Volume 1 and Volume 2. These books are very important because they go over many of the lectures that I've given over the years relating to the history of Black people. And of course, a book that should be in everyone's home is The World History of the Black Race. This book, The World History of the Black Race, is a book that will tell you all about all of the Black civilizations that have ever existed, that I've been able to research, found out about. It includes pictures. It's a survey book so that your children and you can learn more about who and what we are. Yes, 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 yes. The black race, the black race, the black race. We've been the builders of many things. The pyramids. We were the Olmecs. We were the ancient Egyptians. We were the ancient Anu. We are the ancient peoples who made these great civilizations that people only read about, that people only see through reconstructions of their great monuments. But see, black is a name for melanated people. Yes, yes, yes. We are black. We are black. We are black. And because we are black in a sense, this makes us and allows us to be proud. We were the ones who were the first farmers. We were the first herders in a sense. We built the first civilizations on earth, ancient Egypt, Assyria, all of these places. These places, the Olmecs, these civilizations were made by black people like you, black people like me, black people like us. Yes, yes. This is our ancestry. This is our heritage. What is FBA? FBA is not a group. FBA is not an organization. FBA is a lineage. A lineage is lineal descent from an ancestor, ancestry or pedigree. As a result, we are descendants of the African and Aboriginal blacks who built the United States. Yes, 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 yes. We built these United States. Don't get it twisted. We built these United States. B1 is acknowledging your black African ancestry and not heritage. We must be race men and women proud of our culture and African black ancestry. Yes, yes, yes. Even though we didn't all come from Africa, don't get it twisted. No, we did not all come from Africa, but we should still, in a sense, accept our black ancestry, accept the fact that we are black and that there's other black people who build very great nations. Because see, when you're black, it equals brilliant. You see, and when you're black, it's black first. B1, B1. You're B1 black first. You're B1 brilliant first. Yes, you're black and brilliant. That's what being B1 is. We've been taught a history of lies, a history where we are the victims of white racism. These lies teach us that we are a people too weak to defend ourselves because the natural superiority of the European race over the primitive African, whose emotionalism makes it impossible for them to do anything without the guidance and direction of the European. This is history's greatest lie. We don't need the European to lead us anywhere. We don't need the European to tell us our history, but we must learn our history. We must know our history. And the only way that this can take place is how? By studying our history. Yes, yes, yes. We must study our history. As a rule, under white supremacy, history is whatever white people say it is. Yes, yes, yes. It doesn't matter what I say history is, because of the fact that so many people are dominated by white supremacy, because of the fact that black people don't believe other black people know anything, then unless the white man says it first, often we fail to see and know and learn the truth. But I can tell you this. White people are not going to tell you your true history because white people don't want you to feel proud. White people don't want you to feel, in a sense, empowered. White people don't want you to feel you can do anything. They want you to feel that the only way that you can be successful is to wait for them to lead you, to take you by the hand and be your mama, be your daddy, and lead you towards the promised land. Even though archaeologists found ancient artifacts of blacks, the white supremacists demand that you ignore what you can see with your own eyes and replace it with images they make up. Yes, 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 this is what they do. But these are the black races. Sangreman of Russia, Peking man of Asia, Chatham man of England, Grimaldi man of Italy, Romanian man of Romana, Lucicia, Native American. Yes, yes, yes. These were all black people. These are people from the black world. We built these things. Yes, we built these monuments. We built these pyramids. We built these stadiums. We built this, and it's from this knowledge, it's from this innovativeness. It's from this creativity that we are the black people who inhabited every continent. Yes, yes, yes. Know who you are. Know where you came from. Today, many blacks are ashamed of their dark hue and refuse to identify themselves as blacks. They even go so far as to claim that no African or Negro group in history ever identified themselves as a black population. This causes us to ask the question, did ancient civilizations identify their populations as black? Yes, yes, yes. Black is the name of melanated people. Many of the civilizations have won and have rose and fell as a result of geomagnetic reversals. These geomagnetic reversals, in a sense, caused various changes in the climatic patterns and weather of various lands. And as a result of changes in the climatic patterns of the various continents, many black civilizations rose and fell. And they rose and fell because the fact, in a sense, is that there is this beginning, but sadly, there's often an end. The blacks who ruled the world. The first men and women hominids. They left Africa. These were the Australians. You see, but before the Australians, we had the Neanderthals. Then after the Australians, we see the rise of the Khoisan. From the Khoisan, we lead to the Pygmies or the Anu, and then we lead to the black people today that inhabit Africa, the Proto-Saharans. These Proto-Saharans created many great civilizations: ancient Egypt, ancient Sumer, the Elamite civilization, the Olmec civilization, and other civilizations around the world are the result of the Proto-Saharans. Yes, 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 the Proto-Saharans. These were all blacks who ruled the world. Black is a name for melanated people. Here we have Grimaldi Man. Yes, 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 this is the Grimaldi statuette. This Grimaldi statuette is over 10 to 20,000 years old. And yet we find, in a sense, that when you compare this Grimaldi statue to a Khoisan person, yes, the Khoisan are people who used to live in South Africa. They still live in South Africa. But, now, in a sense, they just call South Africa. We try not to have so much tribalism. But as you can see, this Grimaldi woman has many of the physical features and characteristics that we've found in the Khoisan people. The Khoisan, in a sense, they built a very beautiful civilization, and they left us many monuments and many artifacts from the civilizations that they built in ancient Europe. Yes, yes, yes. They didn't just stay in Africa. Black people didn't just stay in Africa. Black people migrated out of Africa, off of the African continent, into many lands around the world. And when they went to these different continents, when they went to these different places, they used their genius to create beautiful civilizations, beautiful temples, and artifacts to match. These are the civilizations founded by the black man. These are the civilizations founded by the black woman. Yes, these civilizations are of old. These are our civilizations. Yes, yes, yes. One of the earliest people, in a sense, to break away are the so-called what's called the Australians. In the middle picture, you can see some of the contemporary Australians. You can see their hair is kind of straight. And then you can see the broad Africoid features, the broad noses, and the broad bridge over their head. It's this bridge right across, right over the forehead, right above the eyes, which in a sense shows the so-called primitive. I don't know if I want to say primitive, but let's say the original people, because the original people had these strong, bridges over their eyes. Then you can see above, in a sense, you can see some of the other ancient peoples. But this is in the middle. We have, in a sense, the Australians, and then on the right hand side, we have the peppercorn people, the Khoisan, who are, in a sense, credited. Much of the DNA. Many people have found when they do a DNA study of many ancient people, they find that many of the ancient groups carry Khoisan DNA. I think it's kind of interesting, don't you? According to Nimmerman, anatomically modern humans probably made at least 4 migrations out of Africa. 106,000 years ago to 94,000 years ago, 89,000 years ago to 73,000 years ago, 59,000 years ago to 47,000 years ago, and 45,000 to 29,000 years ago. Yes, these are some of the migrations that they believe that people in Africa made off the African continents. And I quote, such shifts then opened up green corridors between Africa and the Eastern Mediterranean and between Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, thus enabling Homo sapiens to leave northeastern Africa and embark on their grand journey into Asia, Europe, Australia, and eventually to the Americas. These dates are interesting because they correspond to archaeological evidence for anatomically modern humans in Brazil, Crete, and China 100,000 years ago. Yes, yes, yes. There's archaeological remains that show that there were humans, anatomically modern humans, that is, humans just like you, just like me, just like us, 100,000 years ago. The rise of the Aragnacian culture, for example, in Iberia, what we call Spain and Portugal today, and thence Eastern Europe, originated around 44,000 years ago. Yes, 44,000 years ago. And then this later, in a sense, spread to the Solutrean culture, which also came from Africa to Iberia and even North America, 21,000 to 17,000 years ago. Yes, yes, yes. Don't get it twisted. Black people have always been on the move. Black people have been just like any other people, curious about other parts of the world and always ready to move out and explore. Yes, yes, yes. For example, Australia spread over 130,000 years ago. You see? Here's some of the various reconstructions of the various types of people. Here we have, in a sense, the Rhodesia man. Rhodesia man on the far right, on the far left, is supposed to have been the predecessor of many of the people that lived in Europe. And of course, we have the Neanderthal man. And then we had the Australians. But if you look at these people, what do they share in common? If you notice, look across the bridges. Look across the bridge over their eyes. As you can see, the bridge over the eyes of these very early hominid or very early men are what? They're very broad. And this shows, in a sense, the fact that they're much more ancient than contemporary people like us, because we as Black people, our bridges across our eyes are not as broad. They're not, in a sense, as prominent, but in a sense, they still show our Blackness. They still show where we came from. In summary, the new evidence of anatomically modern humans in Arabia or Crete, and now in Brazil, around 100,000 years ago, suggests that anatomically modern humans left Africa before 60,000 years ago, which was the assumed date. The archaeological evidence from the Americas and Europe, Eurasia, make it clear that people left Africa 100,000 years ago to settle other parts of the world. This indicates that although there is firm archaeological evidence man began to settle Western Eurasia and other parts of the world 60,000 years ago, during the interglacial period between 130,000 and 1,000 years ago, mankind probably also made one of its first exits out of Africa. Yes, these are some of the earliest types of Blacks that would have, in a sense, been living around that time. Because the Africa was not always the way it is today. Today we see Africa, we see the Sahara Desert, but much of Africa for for thousands of years was a beautiful savanna, a savanna where there was extensive forest, and the area was very wet. And because the area was very wet, at one time, even on this map, some of these lakes were much larger than you would imagine. And do you know that back in the day, you could take a ship and you could get on a boat and you could sail a boat from South Africa all the way to North Africa because the lakes were so grand and so expansive. Yes, yes, yes. Many of these areas were formerly areas where they had where the land existed. Even today, I know you may have seen some of these videos in which they showed that it used to be whales and squid and other sea creatures that used to live in North Africa in the Sahara Desert before it became a desert. Yes, 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 yes. There's been many changes on the earth, so don't get it twisted. This is why we study history and archaeology. Yes, black civilizations are many. Black people built the Olmec civilization, the Egyptian civilization, the Nubian civilization, the Sumerian civilization, the Elamite civilization, and more civilization you can imagine. There are many of these African boats. These boats go back thousands of years ago. Yes, yes, yes. And why did they have these boats? They had these boats because of the fact that we had these rivers. They had so many rivers that the people, in a sense, found it to their advantage to move along these rivers by using their various boats. Here you can see Lake Chad, Lake Congo. Look how big these lakes were. Yes, these lakes, in a sense. Do you know what I mean? These lakes was larger than the distance between Africa and Brazil. Yeah, yeah. Mega Chad, for example, was 139,000 square miles. You know, back in the day, people would have really imagined when they were traveling around Africa that it was basically, in a sense, they wouldn't have been able to tell what was an island, what was a plateau, what was a valley. I mean, it was just so much water. Wow, so much water. That's why we had Lake Mega Chad and Lake Mega Congo. You see, but just think about this. Here you can see the distance between Brazil and the west coast of Africa. The distance between Brazil and the west coast of Africa is only 1,700 miles. 1,700 miles, I told you. But think about this, is that Mega Chad was 139,000 square miles. Is it any wonder that ancient man in Africa thought that the world was just basically an area of nothing but water? Yes, yes, yes. And these ancient blacks, they built many types of watercraft. You see, they built rafts, they built other types of boats. You know, and they use these boats and these crafts, in a sense, to sail and to visit many parts of Africa. Because, as I told you before, many of the streams, even on this map a little bit, but as you can see on this map, you could sail from Mozambique along rivers into the Congo, Lake Congo, into Lake Chad, all the way into North Africa. Yes, yes, yes. And this was what it was like back in the day. This shows, in a sense, the importance of boats to our ancestors on the African continent. You see, here we see an Australian, and here we see Rhodesian man. Rhodesian man is supposed to be the predecessor of, in a sense, the Neanderthal people in Europe. And on the left hand side, we see an Australian, again, the straight hair, stuff like this. So I mean, it's what was the hair texture? Is hair texture so important? You see, but as you can see, black people do not have just one hair texture. Don't get it twisted. Here's some more Australians. Here's an ancient boat that some of these people used over 4,000 years ago. Yes, yes. This is one of the boats or canoes that the people sailed in tens of thousands of years ago. The Khoisan people were some of the first people to spread across the African continent from southern Africa. The Khoisan people, they're also considered to be the first European. This is a reconstruction of uh, of what many researchers claim is the first Europeans. Yes, yes, yes. This is what they call Cro-Magnon man. In many books written in the 1950s, they would tell you that Cro-Magnon man was a European. See, but this is how Cro-Magnon man really looked. Cro-Magnon man was not a European. He was not a Caucasian. He was black like you. He was black like me. He was black like us. There have been numerous Negroid skeletons found in Europe. Marcel M. Boulay and Henry Vallos in Fossil Man provide an entire chapter on the African Negroes of Europe Anti-Diop also discussed the Negroes of Europe and civilization or barbarism, pages 25 to 68. And W. Du Bois discussed these blacks in the world in Africa, pages 86 to 89. Du Bois noted that, and I quote, there was once an uninterrupted belt of Negro culture from Central Europe to South Africa. Let me repeat that. There was once an uninterrupted belt of Negro culture from Central Europe to South Africa. Bolet and Valas note that, and I quote, Bolet and Valas, as I said, they wrote a book called Fossil Man, and they wrote this, and I quote, to sum up, in the most ancient skeletons from the Grotte des Enfants, we have a human type which is readily comparable to modern types, and especially to the Negritic or Negroid type. They continue. Two Neolithic individuals from Chamblandes in Switzerland are Negroid, not only as regards their skulls, but also in the proportion of their limbs. Several Ligurian and Lombard tombs of the Middle Age have also yielded evidence of a Negroid element. Yes, yes, yes. Black people were everywhere. Since the publication of Bernou's memoir, discoveries of other Negroid skeletons in Neolithic levels in Illyria and the Balkans have been announced. The prehistoric statues dating to the Copper Age from Sultan Selo in Bulgaria also are thought to portray Negroid people, the Negro. Yes, this is considered to be Cro-Magnon man. This is considered to be the first anatomically modern European. Yes, yes, Cro-Magnon man. The first anatomically modern European. This is how he looked. Finally, in 1928, René Bellet found in one of the caverns of Moniet, near Dinant, in Belgium, a human skeleton whose age is difficult to be certain, but seems definitely prehistoric. It's remarkable for its Negroid character, which gives it a resemblance to the skeleton of both Grimaldi and Asselar. Bowley and Valas note that, and I quote, we know now that the ethnography of South African tribes presents many striking similarities with the ethnography of our populations of the reindeer age, not to speak of their stone implements, which, as we shall see later, exhibit great similarities. Ferengue has told us that in certain burials on the South African coast associated with the Aurignacian or Solutrean type of industry, the Aurignacian and Solutrean type tool industries are also industries which originate in southern Africa, but later appear in Europe, and in the case of the Solutrean type of tools, the Solutrean culture was not only in Africa and Europe, but it was also found in the early Americas. Yes, 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 yes. It was found in the North American continent. In conclusion, Boulay and Valas add that in relation to Bushman art, this almost uninterrupted series leads us to regard the African continent as a center of important migrations, which at certain times may have played a great part in the stocking of southern Europe. Finally, we must not forget that the Grimaldi Negroid skeletons, who many points of resemblance with the Bushman skeletons, they bear no less a resemblance to that of the fossil man discovered at Ansalar in mid-Sahara, whose characters led us to class him with the Hottentot or Bushman group. Yes, 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 yes. This is the culture. This is the civilization. This shows the community. If you want to find out more about the various ancient black civilizations of Europe and the rise of mankind, get my book, The Ancient Black Civilizations of Asia. Before Egypt, the Maya Confederation, Africa's First Civilization, and of course, Black History Gems Essays, Volumes 1 and 2. Buy these books. And The World History of the Black Race, again, is a book that should be in every FBA family's home. It should be on their coffee table in their living room so that whenever they have visitors come to their house, they can be able, in a sense, to scan through that book and see the great and beautiful civilizations that we created and the great and beautiful art that we made. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Thank you, in a sense, for coming to Black History Gems. Again, I'm very excited that you were able to share this time with me. Yes, I love the fact that you were able to share this time with me, because in sharing this time with me, what you've been able to allow me to do is to tell you more about our history, to let you know how we got here and how we became the people we are today. It's sad, though, in a way, that much of our history has been stolen. Much of our history has been betrayed. And much of this history has been stolen or betrayed because of the fact, in a sense, is that we refuse to love each other. We refuse to respect each other. We refuse, in a sense, to know and respect who and what we are. Our identity and our culture as Black foundational Americans. Yes, yes. Wars between Black Indians and whites were manufactured to produce Black slaves for whites. The English, the French, and the Dutch provide the Native Americans with guns, rum, and cheap goods to purchase Native American Indian slaves. Between 1670 and 1720, many Black Native Americans were enslaved. The Black Native Americans were sold into slavery throughout the 13 colonies, Mississippi Valley, Canada, and the British West Indies. The majority of Black Native Americans sold into slavery by whites and Indians. Slave traders were the Choctaw, the Yamasee, and other Carolina tribes. Yes, yes. Many of these tribes, like the Mandi, Mandinga, many of these tribes, we've lost their names. And their names have been lost to history because of the fact, in a sense, that when the European came, as he conquered these Black Indians, he just made them slaves. And so over time, in a sense, their nations disappeared. Over time, in a sense, their history wasn't recorded. Over time, they were even able to deny that Aboriginal Blacks even existed in America. They wanted to give our Aboriginal ancestors gifts. And the only problem with the gifts that they gave us was that often these blankets that they gave us carried smallpox. Yes, diseases. They also, in a sense, gave us another gift, rum, fire water. And this rum caused an addiction among us. And in a sense, it led to a demand for guns because it incentivized Indian slave trading. Yes, the first slaves sold in America were Indians, Black Indians, selling other Black Indians to Europeans to work on their cotton, not on their cotton plantations, their tobacco plantations, their rice plantations. Yes, yes, yes. We sold each other over here, just like in Africa, because of the fact is that we failed to understand that we are one, we are one, we are one. We should be united based upon our identity and our culture as Black foundational Americans. Yes, yes. Reparations, baby, reparations. We deserve reparations. We deserve reparations like yesterday, not just today. No, not just today. We deserve our reparations. Give us our money, baby. Cut the check.
Cut the check, Black first because it's brilliant. People talk too much. Say less, remain on code, follow the spirit. When the going gets tough, it's time for resilience. Cut the check, Black first because it's brilliant. People talk too much. Say less, remain on code, follow the spirit. When the going gets tough,
If you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do. If you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do. If you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do. If you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do. Vampires, they prey on your fears and they stay away. Vampires, they prey on your fears, control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. Don't let them take control your atmosphere. I am you, control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. Don't let them suck your energy. It's a distraction away from me. I am you and you are me. If you're not going to speak up, you're the one
the only thing that can save you is B1, B1, B1. To fight Cage, you must stay